Hey, Real Green Ninja here. Today we're going to talk about how to process your installment renewal, so let's begin. First thing I do want to point out though is this particular video is only for customers who have updated to at least version 4.05.41 or higher. If you are at 4.05.39 or lower, I actually do have another video, and there is a slightly different process because this update on the 541 changed how the software handles those installment renewals. So again, you want to make sure to double check your version. You can always check your version by clicking on help and then about, and it will let you know version. Of course, you can always call Real Green and we'll be more than happy to help you out there and figure things out. But hopefully, again, you're up to date. Hopefully you're keeping your system up to date, but not everyone does that. So like I said, this video is only for 5.41 or higher. If it's 5.39 or lower, you will want to make sure you look at the other video. All right, so first things first, we want to make sure when we're going to be ready to process our installment renewals that we've already done our service renewals. So again, you'll see here I already have a service on 2016 for this customer. The service on 2015, oh, went a little bit too far there. There you go. The service on 2015, again, we're still in the middle of doing it. So you can process renewals before you've completed for the season. Again, keep in mind, though, a lot of people, just for the sake of ease, like to do it when they're completely done for the year. Now, once you've processed your service renewals, then you'll be able to process your installment renewals. So again, very important, make sure you got the services there first to tie to those installment plans. Now, as far as the installments themselves are concerned, this 2015 plan is currently completed. So you'll see here that it's if I have to actually uncheck current plans only, you'll see all the services or all the installment charges have been posted. And then again, that service is tied to that installment plan. So like I was saying, this is the plan that we're going to renew into 2016. All right. Now, you'll notice here that the 2016 plan or the 2016 lawn care program is not currently tied to any installment plan. There's no checkbox there, even though under the billing type, it is set to installment. There is a utility I'm going to show you how to run, but it's very important that you run that utility whether or not you're going to increase prices. Again, we'll talk about that here in a moment. So we have our services for 2016. We have our installment plan for 2015 that we can renew. So we're going to go to Tools and then Process Renewals. Now, the change that they made for processing renewals, for installment renewals, is that if you click this Renew Installment Charges, this grid up here with the services and programs is going to disappear. Watch. Click. Boom, it's gone. So again, this is why when you go to do your installment charges to renew them, you're going to run it as a separate batch on the service renewal screen, which also means you're going to make another manual data backup. It's very, very important. Anytime you could possibly change a lot of information, you want to make sure to make a manual data backup. If you're a hosted customer, give Real Green a call. We'll get one backup made for you. And if you need help, we can even help you out. But again, make sure that anytime you could possibly change a lot of information, make that backup. Now, once we have that renew installment charges selected, I'm going to go ahead and select from my list. I'm going to make sure I got my branches in here. I'm going to go ahead all here. But I do have one customer set up for my my demonstration. Now, you can, commercial, residential versus commercial. You can do flag codes and stuff. Again, I believe those filters also work. But like I said, I'm going to renew all my installment charges. Now, once I have everything set up and I did my backup, I'm going to go ahead and hit Process Renewals. When I hit Process Renewals, it's going to warn you, did you make a backup? So again, that's why it's very important. It's going to keep reminding you over and over for a lot of these utilities. I'm going to say yes. Are you sure you want to process renewals? Complete, yes. And again, it was really quick because I only have one. If we look at the view summary, we'll take a look, and you'll see there is 31816, which happens to be this customer. So again, I only have the one customer right now for my demonstration. Now, once your installment plan has been renewed, it does not automatically tie the service that was tied to the plan from the prior season into the new installment service or the new installment year. So again, if we take a look at 2016, this is not check marked. Even though this service or program is marked as a billing type installment, it's still not tied to that installment plan. Very, very, very important. If you plan to do price increases, you will need to do your price increases before you run the update installment utility, which will then tie that service or program to the existing installment plan. So I'm going to go ahead and check this so we remove the one that's been already taken care of. So, like I said, if you're doing price increases, this is the point in time you would do them. You do them right now before you run update installments. Now, once we've done price increases, or if you're not, in this case I'm not going to do price increases, you're going to go to Tools, Utilities, customer utilities, and about 3/4 of the way down we have update installment utility. So again, whether or not you do price increases, you will need to run this update installment utility at some point in time. When we go into the utility, we again, like with a lot of screens here, we have a bunch of different checkboxes and drop downs. So guess what? You're going to make a backup before you actually hit the update button. Again, because we could possibly change a lot of data, make sure to run that backup. You can then filter by flag code for people with a particular flag code or without a particular flag code. And this becomes very, very important if you're planning to change the number of payments. This customer is currently set to 9 payments for that 2015 installment charge, but maybe I want to make it so that all my customers that are going to be have the installment plans in 2015 or 2016 is now going to have 12 payments instead of whatever number they have. So again, I'm going to set service year to process is 2016. I'm also going to change the start date. I'm going to make this 0101 2016. Why? Because, well, the plan starts in 2016. And I'm also going to set the billing frequency to monthly. So again, you can set and change these settings. Now, if you have customers that maybe they do on the quarter, or maybe they have like a 8 installment charge or whatever, and that's what you guys want to keep or whatever, that's where it becomes important to give them a customer flag so we can filter them out of this particular update installment utility batch. Now, again, once we have all this criteria set, you are going to make sure our expiration date range is set correctly as well. So again, we're doing the 2016 one. We have a 2016 expiration date, so we're going to change this to 2016. You can see a pattern here going. Also, very important, this change program jobs from regular installment billing type. You will never, ever, ever check mark that unless you are specifically told by a Real Green technician. And also, more than likely, that Real Green technician is going to talk to one of the senior technicians or even talk to the manager to make sure it's okay to check mark it. Because if you check mark that, you could possibly do some damage if you're, well, didn't mean to. And again, this is why it's important to run the backup. So, we have my company branch. Again, I'm going to go ahead and select all just to make sure I got that person covered. We're going to select my 2016 service year. We're going to change the number of payments to 12. We're going to change the start date to 1/1/2016. Both residential, commercial, we set it to monthly. We're going to make sure my expiration date range here has this expiration date falls within it. We're going to make sure whether or not we want to filter by flag code, and we are going to make sure we do not check this change programs from regular installment billing type. Once everything's in there, once everything looks okay, we're going to hit update. It's going to say, do you want to make a backup? Are you sure you want to proceed? Because you need to make a backup. Again, very important, make those backups. We're going to hit yes. It's going to say it's done. Now, again, I only have one customer, so it's going to go really, really quick. But if we go back to this customer's account and we push F5 on our keyboard, or we push, or I'm sorry, change tabs to refresh, you will now see the number of payments has been set to 12. If we look down here, it's now 1/1/2016. If we scroll down, we'll see again, it takes us to those 12 payments. Also, you'll notice that on the 2015 plan, this renewed checkbox is now checkmarked. That's how the system knows that this has been renewed. And if you run this, update installment plan again or whatever, that it's not going to try to renew it again for some reason. Again, the 2016 one is not renewed. But like I said, it's very, very important that you're going to go through and follow all these steps for installment plans, because if you miss any of these steps, it's possible you could cause problems down the road, because until that service is tied, the system will not keep track of it as you post production. So that's why it's very important to run that update installment utility. So just to refresh, you're going to make sure that you have your services renewed. Again, this is going to be one batch of the renewals. Then you're going to go to Tools, Process Renewals. You're going to hit this check mark, Renew Installment Charges. It's going to wipe out that grid. You're going to make sure that you have all this criteria set, making a backup before you actually pull the trigger. You're going to hit Process Renewals. It's going to renew that installment plan into the next service year. So again, there's my new plan. Keep in mind, this expiration date is very, very, very important for those steps. Once you've done that, then you're going to do price increases if you plan to increase prices. Okay, and then once your price increases have been done, or if you decide not to do price increases, you're going to go to Tools, Utilities, Customer Utilities, 3/4 of the way down, Update Installment Utility. You're going to make sure all this is set correctly, 2016. If you want to change payments, and you don't have to change payments, you can leave the same payment schedule and stuff if you want. But if you want to, you're going to go ahead and set this. Again, making sure our expiration date is for that 2016. Once everything's done, you're going to hit Update. Again, keep in mind, you're going to make multiple backups during this process, as well as I always recommend, once you've done this, go into an example customer or sample customer that you know how they should look, and double check to make sure everything looks the way it's supposed to. So, I hope you're able to keep up with that. I'm a little hyper right now, so it's late at night, and I'm really waiting for dinner. So as I was saying, once all that stuff is done, you're good to go. Again, if you need any help, if you make a mistake, call Real Green. We'll be more than happy to try to help you get it resolved. Other than that, you have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day.